Hey, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Happy Thursday. Almost Friday. Cannot believe we're here again. And I know I say that every week, but Thursday just seems to poof, here it is.
I know, right? It's fast.
It's fast. This week has gone super fast. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. Tonight is Let's Chat Thursday. And tonight's topic starts with the letter L. We are almost halfway through the alphabet. So when we were debating topics, there was a few that we had to choose from, and we agreed on talking about labor and not manual.
It's not manual labor.
Not manual labor like when I suggested it to James. I do make him do a lot of manual labor around the farm, that's for sure. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. I kind of wanted to share the story of Ember and Paisley. They're our main whys for doing the business, and we've kind of showcased them a few times, but this is I don't want to get super detailed because I know not everyone's into this. If you are a male follower and, you may not want to watch this episode of Let's Chat Thursday, that's totally fine. Maybe if you're a female, you don't want to watch it either. Totally up to you. I like hearing other moms' stories and journeys about how, their families came to be. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about Ember and Paisley's labor that we went through with them. And yeah, so basically, I guess it would have been 8 years ago-ish. It was around early December. I was just super moody, hormonal, but that wasn't a red flag because at the moment, James's mom passed away December 6th in 2013. So we were going through a super stressful time. She was in the hospital. Emotions were heavy to begin with. So that to me was not a red flag. We owned our own storefront. We owned a cafe and play place. So we were also, entrepreneurs in a traditional brick and mortar business. And, we were really stressed with our store. It was our busy time, but we were going into Christmas. Anyway, there was a ton of reasons why my body would be stressed, why I'm hormonal. And so anyway, James's mom passed away, and we were trying to plan the funeral and dealing with his sister at the time. Everybody's emotions are high. We were at his mom's condo one night, and I lost my mind. We were arguing about pictures or something for the funeral. Anyway, I just lost my mind. I went crazy, and I was raging. I had no control over it. Don't know why. Anyway, we stormed out of there. The whole way home, I screamed, I think, in James' ear.
You chatted at me the whole 20-minute home.
I just was and then I was super upset because I was I don't even understand why I'm feeling this way. And again, never been pregnant before. Don't know the signs or symptoms. Anyway, continued on with life. And then I was telling my our business partner, she has 3 kids at the time. So anyway, I was telling her some stuff and this and that. And I think I was trying to think back of what made me take a pregnancy test. And I think she had suggested it. And I was like, well, my period is a little bit late, but again, not a red flag because of all the stresses that we've just had going on in December. So I think it was December 21st. I took a pregnancy test. We were living with my parents at the time because we were building this house that we were in. So I took a test, and 2 lines showed up without hesitation. And I just started crying, and I was so overwhelmed. So I went into work that day, and I did not tell James. Went into work that day. I told Misty. We were just screaming and celebrating. And I was I don't know what to do. I don't even know how to describe that feeling that your world's changing, but yet you don't even really realize that it hasn't sunk in. And anyway, so it's December 21st. And I was I'm not going to tell James. I am going to tell him on Christmas Day. That is going to be his Christmas present. So I went to Walmart and I bought a baby blanket. And it's the baby blanket that Ember still uses every single day. She calls it her yellow. I think I bought some onesies or whatever. And then of course I put the pregnancy test in a Ziploc bag, put it
Sanitary.
put it all in a little gift bag. And then I made my parents and I made James's sister cards for Christmas that just said, you're going to be a grandma and grandpa and you're going to be an aunt kind of thing. So I kept this little secret just between, I think I told my cousin and I told my friend. And so there was like 3 or 4 of us that knew, and we all kept it from James.
Everybody but the important guy.
For 4 days. That was like, I remember laying in bed and it was just like, my heart was racing because like we tell each other everything and you're the one person that I like, that
it would be nice to know, but
like, I just remember like my heart was just racing and I like could barely sleep because my adrenaline was just pumping so much. And I was like, James's life is going to change. And he literally has no idea. He has no idea this is coming. And it was like this sick inside joke that I was like holding on to. Anyway, so Christmas morning or afternoon, I don't even know when we were doing gift opening. We had to wait for your sister to get out here. Like, so, I mean, the anticipation in my mind is killing me. And I was like, he has no idea. So I filmed the whole thing and, like, I still watch the video sometimes because James, so he's opening his gift and he pulls out and he's so confused, so beyond confused. Why this blanket and some baby onesies? And I'm just,
it wasn't on my Christmas
no,
list.
and I'm just killing myself inside because I'm like, he just is so confused, this poor man. And then he pulls up this pregnancy test and he's looking at, and my mom is like in the background and you can hear she's like she's like almost hyperventilating because she's trying not to burst out crying. But then it's like we're waiting for James to like for it to click on what's going on.
Sometimes it takes a while to register.
Anyway, so he finally, I think you just looked up and you said to me, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah, I'm serious." So that's how I told James he was going to be a dad. So we found out the due date was August 25th of 2014. Mm-hmm. I said right there, I was like, this baby is going to be born on your birthday. And she was pretty damn close.
Really close.
James's
within
birthday.
Hours.
Yeah. James's birthday is August 27th. She was born on August 28th. I'm so bad. I can't think of the time. I think it was like 5 in the morning or something. So it was like 6 hours past. Anyway, I went into labor on James's birthday. I was driving into town because I had invited his sister and my parents. We were going to have steak for dinner and do up this really nice dinner for our anniversary and James's birthday. And so I'm driving into town to Costco. And like I had felt kind of gross that morning, like not sick or anything. I felt sluggish. I didn't really feel like doing anything. And I was like, hey, you got to get going, got to go buy groceries. So I'm driving into town and I just kind of felt this weird pain, but it wasn't painful, but it just kind of was enough to kind of stop me to kind of be like, oh, that's kind of odd. And it was like every 6 or 7 minutes. And then it took me about the whole drive in to kind of clue in and be like, I think these are contractions. And so I went to Costco, pushing this cart. And then I had to stop every 5 or 6 minutes. I just kind of stood there, breathed through it, continued on my merry little way, did my Costco shop. My mom works at Save On, went to go pick up the rest of the things I needed. And she was working that day. I said, Mom, I got to tell you about the morning I had. So I'm telling her, how I'm feeling and all this stuff. And she was just like, oh my God, like those are contractions. So the whole day on his birthday, I'm having contractions. We were eating supper and I remember like they're getting, progressively stronger throughout the day. Still nothing to really be concerned about. And I remember eating supper and like his sister didn't have kids then either. So this is all new to kind of, our generation. And I remember, so I'm eating and I would stop and I just sit there, breathe through my contraction. Okay, continue on eating. I remember her looking over at me and her eyes are just like so wide. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, totally fine. So anyway, they went home. James, I think it was like 11. He's like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, I can't sleep. Like I can't. So from 11, I think until 3 in the morning, I just stood beside the bed rocking and just trying to breathe through these contractions. They're getting heavier and heavier or stronger and stronger. And he woke up around 3:30 and just was like, how you making out? Fine. I'm fine. And then, God, I really don't remember all of it. But anyway, we ended up going in. I think it was like 4 or 5 in the morning.
It was early.
So she was born quite a bit after your birthday, because now we're already on the 28th, and she wasn't born till like, I was going to look to you. I can't remember.
I think it was like 5 p.m. or something. Like
Bad
that.
mom
I'm pretty
moment.
sure.
Anyway, get to the hospital. Labor took forever. I pushed forever. Like, seriously, it was like 2 hours. It was crazy. There were so many people in and out of the hospital room. Like, I think they were training or something. So there was like additional people. Like, it was just
like Grey's Anatomy in there.
It was this crazy experience. And honestly, if you're a mom, like, you'll totally get it. Like, when you're in labor, there's no shit. It's like everybody is coming and going and checking things and poking and prodding. And oh my God, it was the craziest experience. So finally, natural birth, Ember came into this world. James got to cut the umbilical cord. You did so good. I actually was really nervous, and I think people were taking bets as to whether or not James was going to.
I was still vertical. I was good.
If he was going to pass out on the floor or whatnot. But yeah, you were a trooper. You were actually like so into it.
I had to almost deliver her though.
Yeah.
Because the doctor pieced out.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So our doctor, she had come in, and she's like, I just have another patient across the hall who I think is going for a C-section right away. I just need to go check on her. I'll be right back. And I remember thinking, but I think baby's coming. And there was a nurse in the room, and like literally the doctor walked out the door. And I mean, I had been in labor forever. Like, I think I labored for like 30 hours. So of course she probably thinks she still has quite a bit of time. She leaves the room, and I looked at the nurse and I was like, something's not right. Like, I think baby's coming. So anyway, she checks me. She's like, oh yeah, the head's right there. And like, she's like, this is what the nurse says to me. She's like, can you just wait till the doctor's back? Well, like, kind of not really. Like, this is happening like right now. So yeah, James and the nurse were there to deliver the baby. And I was like, I don't care if the doctor's in the room or not. Do not care. Like, because I had already been pushing. So her head was like crowning, like her head was right there. Like, it was like 1 or 2 more pushes and Ember was out, and she was telling me, wait for the doctor. And I was like, that's not happening. Sorry. So yeah, James got to be a part of that.
I earned my paycheck that day.
And then the next day we went home. Like, everything went really well. And to be honest, like, I always thought it was so scary that I was like, man, they send people home from the hospital like so fast. Like, how is that even possible? Like, you've just had a baby and now they're like, you're out the door. But I remember, like, I don't actually like staying in hospitals, and I don't like being interrupted. And, you know, it was kind of like I was ready to come home. Like, I just wanted to get home and not have people bugging me 24/7. Like, so, and then we needed some groceries, I think. So we took like our brand new baby, who was like a couple hours old, took her to the grocery store, picked up some milk and whatever else on the way home.
Yeah.
And that was the slowest I have ever experienced James drive in my life. They always say your drive home with your firstborn, you don't realize like how bumpy the road is, or like how crazy of a driver you might be. So I'm sitting in the back with the car seat, and I remember I just stared at Ember the whole way home, and you can't even like really process like all this stuff that's just happened the last 2 days. Like, it when you're in the moment, it takes forever. Mm-hmm. Like, is this ever going to end? It's so painful. Like, those last, I don't know if it was a half hour or whatever of contractions, like, I honestly like couldn't even breathe. I couldn't see straight because I was in so much pain. And then baby comes out, and it's like the pain just disappears.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was I loved every single minute of it. I had a fantastic pregnancy. You know, I honestly feel so bad for moms who have crappy pregnancies. They're put on bed rest, or they're either in a lot of pain, or they're uncomfortable. Like I said, we had a business, and I was waiting on tables and running a business and making coffees, and like up until
right down to
like
the day.
I think the day before. And I think we've told this story many moons ago in one of our Go Lives. So my business partner that I own the business with, she actually found out a couple weeks later that she was pregnant with baby number 4. So we are 2 female business owners pregnant at the same time, totally not planned. And we got to go through the whole pregnancy together. It was the most amazing experience ever. Anyway, and so talking about working up until like very last day, she had texted me. So I was at home and I only took 2 weeks of maternity leave with Ember. We are business owner, don't get maternity leave. So I had 2 weeks at home trying to recover. And so she texts me, I think I need to close the shop early today. Is that okay? Like Courtney's going to wrap it all up, whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. She was like, I think I'm in later labor. Like, I think my water broke. So I was like, what are you even doing there? You're crazy. Of course, get out of there. Like, that's how committed we were to our business.
Yeah.
We're in labor and we're still like, you know, keeping
plugging away.
keeping the wheels rolling. To think about it, like and then people, you know, you get 12. So then Paisley, so we sold our business. And then with Paisley, I actually did have a maternity leave. And it was like 12 months of being off with my newborn. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, it was the most wonderful thing. And I was like, I never got to experience that with Ember. Like at 2 weeks old, Ember was in our cafe, her and baby Justin, because my business partner had her baby 2 weeks later, and we had 2 baby swings, and
Yeah, they were just swinging in the back.
They were raised. We actually didn't even know where our babies were half the time because we had a place cafe. So, I mean, most of our customers, 99% of them are moms, and they've went that whole process with us of being pregnant. So someone had our baby. Like we were like, we have no idea where they are, but they're safe. Someone has them. It was great. So with Paisley, again, it's not that we weren't trying to have a baby, but it wasn't like not planned. Like, you know, we eventually wanted one. And yeah, I don't know if my period was late or what, again, prompted me to take that pregnancy test. But this time I did tell James right away.
That was nice of you. This time. I can prepare myself.
You didn't have to wait to find out for this one. Same thing. Pregnancy was amazing. Ember was such a good girl. Like she was 2.5 or not quite 2 when we found out. So, you know, she was really good occupying herself. Like, I don't know. I have absolutely no complaints about any of the pregnancy process, even with having a newborn and already having one. Like Ember would be so good. She'd just be like playing by herself and I would nap when baby had nap. Like, I don't know. It was amazing. We don't want any more kids, but like if we were going to, I would, because for me, I really enjoyed the whole experience and whole process. With Paisley, it was a little bit different of experience because with Ember, it was like 30 hours of labor. Paisley was like 5. I didn't even know I was going into labor. It was early morning, 4 or 5 in the morning. I got up to go pee because, you know, when you're pregnant, you have to pee 1,000 times during the night and during the day. I would get so mad at him when he'd be like, you have to pee again.
Road trips were very long.
I punched him so hard in the arm and he was like, ow, what's that for? And I was like, well, that's what the baby just did to my bladder. So yes, I have to pee again. So I got up, went to go pee, got back to bed, and I hardly laid back down. And I was like, oh my God, I have to pee again. And I was like, this is just ridiculous. I get up. I barely made it to the toilet. I was standing in front of the toilet and this huge whoosh, like the floor was drenched. And I was like, huh. And again, this is something I didn't experience with Ember because with Ember, the doctor actually broke my water in the hospital. So I didn't experience my water breaking. So anyway, I'm tidying up the floor and trying to clean up the mess. I come out of the bathroom and James kind of rolls over. He's like, are you okay? Like you're in there kind of a long while. And I was like, yeah, I think my water broke. He sits, what? So I call. So the plan was, so we live in the same yard as my parents. So I had to call my mom so that she could be here because she was going to watch Ember for us. So I call, it's 4 a.m. or whatever. And I call, my dad answers the phone, all groggy, disoriented. Hi. And I said, can you wake mom up? Like, you got to send mom over because my water broke and we need to go to the hospital and blah, blah, blah. And all I heard, he mumbled something and hung up. So my mom comes racing over and James is flying around the house trying to get everything ready. And I'm just like, I don't even know what I was doing. I think I was just standing.
I was just
I was just waiting for you.
Just going.
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to get the vehicle out. And anyway, so my mom comes over and like, what's wrong? What's going on? And I was like, well, did dad not tell you? And she's like, I don't know. All he said was something about water. I was like, yeah, that water he's referring to is my water broke and I need to go to the hospital. And she's like, oh.
Good job on the relay of the message.
So I think we got to the hospital around 5 a.m. and Paisley was born just after 11. So it was like 6 hours. It was super fast, like completely different experience. They say once you have 3 or more that they just kind of walk out of you. And I could see that. So yeah, that was my labor experience and I absolutely loved it. So I don't know if you enjoyed it, but I hope you did. A little bit of where Ember and Paisley, their journeys.
Survived too.
James survived. We all survived.
I gained a little bit of weight, but that was all right.
You did put on pregnancy weight,
right?
sympathy weight, or whatever it's called. Anyways, you guys, that's our story for tonight. Thank you for watching. If you've watched live or caught the replay, say hi. We'd love to know where people are watching from. Mm-hmm. And we will see you next Thursday for Let's Chat Thursday. We hope you have an awesome Friday tomorrow.
And a great weekend.
Yeah.
We'll see you next Thursday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.